here's something that I can definitely back up what I feel, because I stopped with what everyone was saying, which I really stopped listening to people. I stopped with whatever the news told us what this thing was about. I started saying, pay attention to my body. My body is talking to me. My body is telling me what's inside and where it is. So now that's when I started asking the questions. And those questions led me to this. This is from 2011. Imagine that, 2011. A lot of you guys are searching within the last couple of years. 2011. It says, insect larvae biofactories as a platform for influenza vaccine production. Abstract. Increased production capacity is one of the most important priorities for seasonal and pandemic influenza vaccine. In the present study, we use a baculose virus insect larva system, considered small living biofactories, to improve the production of the recombinant influenza virus H1N1.
Let's break it all down. Obama faced H1N1. Trump is facing COVID-19. The meme points out there were nearly 15 times as many cases of H1N1 than there are COVID in the United States. CDC estimates the U.S. saw 60.8 million H1N1 cases in a year from April 2009 to April 2010. 8 months into this pandemic, Johns Hopkins University reports there are currently 4.7 million COVID-19 cases in the U.S. So we can verify the case totals in this meme are true.
So let me add a little context to this. The reason why the numbers of H1N1 is supposedly higher than COVID-19, because COVID-19 is the disease. SARS-CoV-2 is the virus. Everybody has been affected by SARS-CoV-2. Everyone has had SARS. Not everyone had the SARS develop to COVID-19. So in other words, like I said in my other video, the insect larva is the SARS. That is the first layer. What we're passing to each other is insect larva. When that larva, which is eggs, insect eggs, when that is born, right, when it hatches, that's now COVID-19. You see these people with all their trickery. They are not making a test for SARS. There is no test for SARS. They're only testing for COVID-19. They're testing for the disease. They're testing for the birth of the bug. They're not testing for how many people inhaled the insect larva. They're not testing for that. So they're not testing for people who's infected with the virus. They're only testing for people who's infected with the disease. Why? Because once you're infected with the disease, now they can really work on you. Now they could visit you while you sleep. You see, you guys don't have no idea what I'm talking about, but they do. I want to let them know that I know exactly what you guys are doing. I know exactly what you guys are doing. And I'm not hiding. You know my name. You know my YouTube channel. You know where I live. You know what kind of car I drive. Come get me. You try to get me in my sleep. You failed. You failed. And then once those eggs hatch, that is what they're looking for. They want to see the development of the parasite. They know everyone is eventually going to get SARS, but they want to know how many people is going to actually have the birth of those parasites. This is the matured, very mature COVID flies. This is the COVID flies. This is what a lot of you guys got in your house. You may think they're regular flies. Nah. Because look, they're so easy. They're so dumb. They don't fly away. I'm sorry. And that's when those heavy metal kicks in. The heavy metals kicks in when these eggs is born. The heavy metals born with the bugs.
But it's missing important context. Per the CDC, H1N1 killed 12,469 Americans in 1 year. COVID-19 has already killed more than 155,000 in only 8 months. Finally, let's answer this question. Which president gave a $3.7 million grant to Wuhan labs? Our source this time is NIH. Project information on their site confirms NIH did award millions of dollars to EcoHealth Alliance, a nonprofit that researched coronaviruses across the globe, including in Wuhan, from 2014 to 2019. So we can verify both presidents oversaw the grant money that in part funded coronavirus research in a Wuhan lab.
Influenza virus H1N1 Tritroplucia larva produced up to 113 G of soluble and easy purified recombinant HA. So it says right here, larva-derived HA, immunogenetically functional in vaccinated mice. So you're inhibiting antibodies and a protective immune response against a lethal challenge with a highly variant virus. So what they're saying here is that they're inhibiting the antibodies and they're keeping the body back from having a protective immune response. Number one, they're creating living biofactories. I got out those biofactories. And here's the kicker. Those biofactories that's left in the body, they're going to diagnose all of that as cancer. They're going to diagnose it as cancer. So when they come out with a cancer cure, that's going to be a lie and another plot. So inhibits antibodies and a protective immune response against a lethal challenge with a variant virus. The productivity, scalability, and cost efficiency of small living biofactories based on insect larvae suggests a broad-based strategy for the production of the recombinant subunit vaccines against seasonal or pandemic influenza as an alternative to the fermentation technologies. This is your mRNA vaccines right here. And this is the alternative to the fermentation technologies. So basically, this is the new method that they want to go with here through the future versus the old way of making vaccines. It's right in front of you. But a lot of you in the comment section are still not going to believe. But this video ain't for you. This video is for the people who's looking for the truth. Here it is. But the title alone is the exact description of what I feel in my body. There's a hive. I call it a hive. I know there's something huge going on in the throat. This is their living quarters. And where the virus, the biofactory is, I believe I have one in my stomach. This is why my stomach inflated. Looking at the pictures in my photos app has showed me the progression of my stomach. A stomach that I can't even pull in. I feel another area in my chest. Even though I've killed the virus, I have put it dormant until I run into something else. It's dormant now. Okay, how do we transfer? What are we transferring? You see, this is the thing that clicked in my head. I said to myself, okay, what if I'm feeling what I'm feeling, then what we're transferring back and forth to each other through breath and fecal matter is eggs. That's why I looked up eggs. And they said it's larva. So they found a way to liquefy larva or have it as a steam or something, that when it comes out of our mouth and the next person inhales it, they're inhaling larva. And the larva goes into your lungs, which is the perfect habitat. Our lungs is the perfect habitat for incubation. So You know preemies, when they're born early, they're put in an incubator. Our lungs serve as that incubator for these insects and whatever else is going on in our body. The biofactories are literally spitting out. Once the bugs are ready, they get spit out into your system and they move around. So in other words, these bugs are carrying those heavy metals. So as you have these parasites throughout your body, they're carrying the metals. That's why you're seeing people with the magnets, because it is magnetic. And then that's where the 5G kicks in, because the 5G is nothing but a big magnet. You guys are following now. This is why in one of those clips, you saw my eyes wasn't right. I've noticed my eyes are not right. I've noticed twitching in certain areas. And I've seen it on patients. The eyes, a lot of people's eyes are not right. A lot of people you can see jumping in their neck. Something is moving. This is the little flies. These are the little insects. That's what they are. The whole thing about this thing is not what it is. It's something different. We are producing an insect in our bodies. This is why you see those little flies in your house. When you're sleeping, it is coming out of our mouth. It was coming out of my mouth. What are these people plotting for us? You're making us sick? You're making our bodies produce insects? Why? Pay attention to what you see. I've already seen YouTubers with the little movements. This is a parasite. It's a parasite. And the thing is, it's multiple parasites in our bodies, because insects can literally harvest a ton. So when your body is ravaged with insects, that's when you swallow, the sensation of dryness, the sensation of prickliness, that's the insects. They're sucking you dry. And you have to keep on drinking. And they suck you dry again. That is what you're feeling behind your throat. And the minute you start moisturizing your throat, the minute you eat something disgusting that they don't like, it will leave. And then they come right back. You're not killing them. You're not aggravating them enough.